You ever hit a monster with a great sword and cause its entire body to inflate? Me neither until I played Wilds.
And you know what? It's phenomenal.
Hello, my fellow hunters, and welcome to another exclusive Wilds preview. Recently, I had the very lucky opportunity to go down to Capcom and check out Wilds proper. Play the first few hours of the, real game and do some select hunts. Rompapolo being one of them. And on top of a huge thank you to Capcom, also one to you guys, because it is because of you guys that we can do this stuff. It is for you guys, but it is on your wings we fly.
That sounded better in my head, honestly.
But it does mean a lot to have your support and your love on Monster Hunter. It is the game nearest and dearest to my heart, playing it since I was a kid from the first game, and to be at this point now, it's just awesome, and we will always give it our all for you guys in everything hunting related. But today then, I want to talk about, well, the monsters, because look, this is Monster Hunter. Your hunter, the weapons, the armor, the story, the world, all of that is a hugely critical pillar to the special recipe that is Monster Hunter. But I think the most important pillar is right there in the first word of the title, monster. Because the monsters are everything. If the monsters don't work, both mechanically in the hunt, narratively in the story, naturally in the world, everything else falls down. And in Wilds, one thing has become very clear to me, both from what we've seen, the betas, and from what I've had the good fortune to play. The monsters have never, ever been as special as this. They have never been more detailed. They have never had more personality. They have never had so much flair to everything that they do. There is some absolutely beautiful creations here. We know that because we've seen them as they've gotten revealed over the last year and a bit, but actually now experiencing some of them firsthand beyond the beta, it's so apparent. Just on a raw detail level, how they exist in the Forbidden Lands, in the locales, is breathtaking. If you, like me, are someone who gets a lot out of simply observing these magnificent creatures be creatures, you are in for a good time. But beyond ecology, beyond battle, something as simple as this you may have seen going round recently. Our good friend, the new brute wyvern, quematrice, with his beautiful plumage and fire, blinking, simply blinking. But this is not just a normal blink. The amount of love and care into something that most people will honestly likely never even notice or see is absurd in the best way. There is a nictitating membrane built in here. That translucent sort of sliding film that goes over a lot of reptiles, some birds, some fish, eyes. It lets them protect them while still giving some modicum of vision, as it tends to be translucent. The fact that that is built in to a quematrice blink is, to me, everything that is special about Monster Hunter. And that is a microcosm for how the monsters are treated in Wilds. From every individual scale so lovingly detailed, to every attack so lovingly crafted, to this dance to the death, the hunt that you embark upon as you and this beast crash through gorgeous locales and decide which one of you gets to remain standing. It really is more special than it has ever been, and as I say, it stood out to me so much while having this experience. From Nerscylla gaining just a little army of spiderling babies, a touch that again isn't needed. It doesn't necessarily add huge complexity or challenge to the fight, but it adds huge amounts of memorability to the experience. And that, I think, is something Wilds is shining with above any other Monster Hunter. Romper Polo going full deflated as you quite literally knock the air out of him, looking so sad with all of his wrinkly skin before drawing more gas back in of himself to keep fighting as he puffs up once more. The little ingenuity of having a monster that's like this mosquito-y brute that plunges its tail into goopy oil to power gas through it to then cause this build-up and pop on your location. I mean, Monster Hunter has always had some wonderful ideas for what it throws against you, but Wilds really is taking it up to 11. The railgun wyvern is another quite elegantly simple yet brilliant example. And one of the most exciting parts of this is in the returning monsters, because we have never known them to get this level of attention because it's not been possible until Wilds. They're now reimagined, reborn on a level that we've never seen them even slightly. We can now truly see the likes of your congalalas actually express themselves with that personality we know that they have, and it's just majestic to behold. The fights, it's hard to not just stop and admire sometimes. It's hard, at least for me, to not get caught off guard because there's moments where I stop hunting hard to just kind of like, oh wow, oh my god, that's great, and then I get smacked in the face by what was great. And that's kind of what you want from Monster Hunter. We're not just fighting bosses. We're not even just fighting animals. We're fighting characters. And they have never been more expressive than they are in Wilds. Across the hunts, across the story, across the world, across their forms. And I think it's something that everyone is really going to appreciate. No matter what a monster is currently doing, it's doing it in a way that I have always wanted from Monster Hunter, and seeing it realized to this level, which is something the devs have always wanted and talked about. They want that nature, that detail, is magnificent. The way that all of these monsters use their natural weaponry in creative, fun, engaging ways against you, some quite challenging too. Yes, you know, sometimes there's no words or eloquence that can capture something better than, oh yes. And Wilds, in a nutshell, when it comes to the stars of the show, which are the monsters, oh yes. And that's something I really want to impart as someone who first fell in love with the series because of the monsters. So I hope you have enjoyed this, and of course there is still plenty more to come, so please subscribe, hit the bell, don't miss it all of that, you know, shenanigans, and indeed like this if you did enjoy it. Subscribe for more, consider supporting the future of this channel on Patreon down below. It does keep us going and it means the world. Until we meet again, a goodbye.
Josh, Cotton, and Hollow with the videos, dropping the humor like a hammer on your tippy toes, bringing entertainment on a daily arrangement to take our insanity and turn it into entertainment. Yes, I said entertainment twice, to reiterate that it is nice to look into your faces on a mostly daily basis when you let us in your homes to make the whole world a stage. Goodbye.